Have you ever woken up with sore legs, stiff joints, or unexplained aches, even though you're eating healthy? If so, you're not alone. Many people over 60 start their day with eggs, believing they're making a smart, nutritious choice, and in many ways, they are. Eggs are packed with protein, vitamins, and healthy fats that support muscle strength and brain health. But what most people don't realize is that eggs can turn from helpful to harmful when combined with the wrong foods. Certain food pairings, especially common breakfast staples, can quietly trigger inflammation, increase joint pain, and weaken the legs over time. The result? Discomfort, swelling, and even a greater risk of losing mobility. That's why today we're uncovering 6 specific foods you should never eat with eggs, because together they can silently chip away at your comfort, strength, and independence. It's a small shift that can lead to powerful changes in how you feel each day. Eggs are one of the most nutritious foods you can eat, packed with protein, vitamin B12, and choline. They help support memory, muscle strength, and lasting energy. For older adults, eggs can be a smart choice to stay strong and active. But here's the catch. After 60, the way our bodies respond to certain foods begins to shift. Digestion slows down, inflammation becomes more common, and the immune system doesn't work as efficiently as it used to. That means food combinations that once seemed harmless can now trigger serious issues. When eggs are paired with the wrong ingredients, it can lead to spikes in uric acid, blood sugar, and widespread inflammation. These internal reactions often show up as leg pain, joint stiffness, or even weakness when walking. So while eggs themselves are healthy, the way you eat them matters more than ever. The right pairing can fuel your body, or quietly break it down. Let's start with one of the most beloved breakfast combos of all time: eggs and processed meats like bacon, sausage, or ham. For many people, especially those over 60, the smell of sizzling bacon in the morning brings back warm memories, family breakfasts, comfort, routine. But what if that familiar pairing is quietly contributing to the joint pain and leg discomfort you feel later in the day? Processed meats are loaded with sodium nitrates, artificial preservatives, and saturated fats. These ingredients are known to trigger inflammation throughout the body, particularly in older adults, whose systems are more sensitive and slower to detoxify. Now, add eggs to the mix. While eggs are packed with nutrients, they also contain sulfur compounds. When combined with the nitrates and fats in processed meats, this pairing can increase uric acid levels in the blood. High uric acid is a major contributor to conditions like gout, causing swelling, pain, and stiffness in the knees, feet, and ankles. You might notice these symptoms creeping in after breakfast or even later in the day, never realizing they could be linked to what was on your morning plate. As we age, circulation to the lower body naturally weakens. That makes the legs especially vulnerable to inflammation and poor nutrient flow. The result? You may find yourself walking slower, feeling heavier, or even dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet. It's easy to blame just getting older, but in reality, what you eat plays a powerful role in how your body feels. So before you reach for that crispy slice of bacon tomorrow, ask yourself, is 5 minutes of flavor worth a full day of discomfort? The answer might just be in your joints. There are better ways to enjoy eggs without putting your legs and mobility at risk. And we'll get into those soon. Now, let's talk about something that feels harmless, even comforting. A slice of toast, a soft muffin, or a warm bagel alongside your morning eggs. For many older adults, these foods are tied to tradition. They represent simplicity, routine, and maybe even a little joy. But when it comes to your health after 60, these refined carbohydrates can quietly work against you. Foods like white bread, muffins, and bagels are stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients during processing. That means when you eat them, they break down quickly into sugar, causing a sudden spike in your blood sugar levels. In response, your body sounds the alarm. The immune system jumps in, releasing inflammatory chemicals to protect you from the sugar surge, even though there's no real threat. Over time, this repeated process triggers chronic, low-grade inflammation, especially in joints and soft tissue. Now imagine pairing these refined carbs with eggs, a food that's rich in protein and healthy fats, but also takes longer to digest. When combined, this meal becomes heavy and slow-moving through your system, increasing the inflammatory load on your gut. And inflammation doesn't stay in one place. It travels through the bloodstream, often settling in areas with poor circulation, like the knees, ankles, and feet. That morning, bagel could be the hidden reason why your legs feel stiff by lunchtime, or why your feet are swelling in the evening. For those living with arthritis, joint pain, or slow digestion, this combination can quietly make everything worse. And the worst part? It doesn't happen all at once. The pain builds slowly over time, making it harder to connect the dots. So the next time you're reaching for that fluffy white toast or sweet muffin to go with your eggs, think twice. The comfort might be momentary, but the discomfort it creates can linger for hours or even days. Your breakfast should fuel your day, not weigh it down. Few things are as comforting as a warm, cheesy omelet or a slice of melted cheese over scrambled eggs. For many of us, cheese has been a familiar friend at the breakfast table for decades. Rich, creamy, satisfying. But as we get older, some of the foods we've always loved don't love us back. And processed cheese, especially the kind that melts into gooey perfection, can quietly become a source of pain and inflammation, especially when paired with eggs. Most processed cheeses are high in saturated fats, artificial additives, and a milk protein called casein. These ingredients are tough on aging digestive systems, which naturally slow down over time. Your gut may no longer break down heavy, fatty foods as efficiently as it once did. When you combine cheese with eggs, both rich and dense, you end up with a slow-digesting, high-fat meal that can sit heavily in your stomach, triggering inflammation from the inside out. This digestive burden can lead to a chain reaction. Inflammatory compounds released from the gut begin circulating through the bloodstream, and for many older adults, they often settle in the lower body, especially the knees, calves, and ankles. You might not immediately blame your cheesy breakfast for the stiffness in your knees or the aching in your legs, but the connection is real. What feels like a harmless indulgence may actually be fueling joint discomfort, poor circulation, and even mobility issues over time. The problem isn't just cheese on its own, but how it interacts with other heavy foods like eggs in a body that's become more sensitive with age. If you've been waking up with swollen joints or find that walking feels harder than it used to, it may be time to look closer at your breakfast choices. You don't have to give up flavor. You just have to make smarter swaps. We'll explore those better options soon. But first, there's another unexpected food group that might be causing more harm than you think, even though it's technically a vegetable. Vegetables are supposed to be good for you, right? That's what we've always been told. And in many cases, it's true. But when it comes to a specific group of vegetables known as nightshades, the story isn't so simple, especially for people over 60 dealing with joint pain, leg discomfort, or arthritis. Nightshades include everyday staples like tomatoes, bell peppers, potatoes, and eggplant. They're colorful, flavorful, and often tossed into omelets or served alongside eggs. But hidden inside these seemingly healthy foods is a natural chemical called solanine, and for some people, it's a silent troublemaker. Solanine can irritate nerve endings and inflame tissues, especially in individuals who are sensitive to it, a sensitivity that becomes more common with age. What makes it tricky is that this sensitivity often goes unnoticed. You might eat a tomato-filled omelet in the morning and not realize that the stiffness in your knees or burning in your calves later that day is connected to what was on your plate. Over time, repeated exposure to solanine in nightshades can quietly worsen joint pain, nerve discomfort, and leg fatigue. When these vegetables are paired with eggs, already a rich and dense food, they can form a combination that's tough on digestion and harsh on your joints. Your body may struggle to break them down efficiently, leading to increased inflammation, especially in the lower half of the body where blood flow naturally slows with age. If you wake up with tight joints, sore legs, or tingling feet, nightshades might be playing a bigger role than you think. The truth is, not all healthy foods are right for every body, especially as we grow older. That's why it's so important to tune in to how certain meals make you feel. If you've been trying to eat clean but still feel pain creeping in, this food group may be worth eliminating for a while to see if things improve. Up next, we'll take a closer look at another surprising source of inflammation: the sweet flavors we often add to our morning plates. There's something comforting about a little sweetness in the morning. A spoonful of jam on toast, a drizzle of ketchup on your eggs, or a small glass of orange juice to start the day. These may feel like harmless treats, even well-deserved after a lifetime of hard work. But for people over 60, even small amounts of added sugar can quietly wreak havoc on the body, especially when it comes to the joint and nerve health. When you consume sugary condiments or sweet drinks, your blood sugar rises quickly. In response, your body releases insulin to bring levels back down. But over time, this constant spike and crash cycle leads to a harmful process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins in your body, making tissues stiff and inflamed. This glycation process damages cartilage, blood vessels, and even nerves, especially in the lower body. The result? You may begin to notice burning in your calves, tingling in your feet, or stiffness in your knees, without any clear explanation. Many seniors blame age or circulation issues, never realizing that the real culprit may be hiding in that small packet of jelly or that healthy fruit juice they've been drinking for years. What's more, when sugar is paired with other rich breakfast foods like eggs, the inflammatory impact can be even greater. Eggs digest slowly, and when combined with sugar, it creates the perfect storm for systemic inflammation. For those with diabetes, prediabetes, or nerve pain, this combination is especially risky. The truth is, sugar doesn't just sweeten your breakfast. It can silently stiffen your joints, irritate your nerves, and chip away at your comfort throughout the day. It may seem small, but these sugary extras add up. If you've been dealing with chronic aches, numbness, or weakness in your legs, it's time to look more closely at what's hiding in your morning routine. Up next, we'll uncover one more common ingredient that's been falsely marketed as healthy, but may be damaging your joints every single day. For decades, margarine and butter substitutes were marketed as the healthy choice, modern solutions to old-fashioned butter. Many well-meaning adults made the switch, thinking they were protecting their hearts and making smarter decisions. But today, we know that margarine, especially the kind made with hydrogenated oils, is anything but heart-friendly. In fact, it may be one of the most damaging ingredients on your breakfast plate, especially when it's paired with eggs. Margarine and artificial spreads often contain trans fats, a type of man-made fat that has been linked to serious health issues. Trans fats promote inflammation throughout the body, stiffen arteries, and interfere with healthy blood flow. For people over 60, this can be particularly dangerous. As we age, our circulation naturally slows down, especially in the legs and feet. When trans fats enter the bloodstream, they can clog small vessels, reduce oxygen flow, and increase pressure on joints, making it harder for your body to repair itself. These effects don't take years to build up. You may start noticing numbness in your toes, aching in your calves, or stiffness in your knees, especially after breakfast. And here's the tricky part. Margarine often hides in plain sight. You may be using it to fry your eggs, spread it on toast, or cook vegetables, thinking it's healthier than butter. But in reality, it may be fueling the very pain and discomfort that slows you down during the day. When combined with eggs, a food that already takes time to digest, margarine creates a heavy inflammatory meal that puts stress on your digestive and circulatory systems. For seniors already managing joint issues or mobility challenges, this can quietly make things worse over time. The good news? You have better options. Natural fats like olive oil or avocado oil offer flavor and health benefits without the dangerous side effects. Small swaps like these can protect your joints, support circulation, and help you feel lighter on your feet. Coming up next, we'll bring it all together and show you how to enjoy eggs the smart way without the hidden risks. You might be wondering, why do these food combinations affect older adults more than younger people? The answer lies in how the body naturally changes with age. After 60, two major systems begin to slow down: circulation and digestion. Your body doesn't move blood, oxygen, or nutrients as efficiently as it once did, and your digestive system processes food more slowly. That means toxins, inflammatory compounds, and excess byproducts from food don't get flushed out as quickly. Instead, they linger, and over time, they accumulate. Where do they settle? Often in the lower body, the legs, knees, ankles, and feet. These areas already have weaker circulation, which makes them a common target for inflammation buildup. It's why so many seniors experience leg pain, stiffness, swelling, or that heavy feeling when walking. What's worse is that most people assume these symptoms are just a normal part of aging. But in many cases, they're directly linked to what's on your plate each morning. Chronic inflammation doesn't show up all at once. It builds gradually, day by day, until one morning you realize your knees ache getting out of bed, or you feel off balance walking down the hallway. Over time, this constant low-grade inflammation can weaken the muscles in your legs, reduce stability, and make simple movements more difficult. For older adults, that's not just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. The risk of falling increases, and with it, the possibility of losing independence. The good news is that food can be part of the solution just as much as it's part of the problem. By making smarter choices, especially in how you combine certain ingredients like eggs, you can reduce inflammation, protect your joints, and stay mobile longer. Understanding how your body responds to food isn't just about comfort. It's about preserving freedom, dignity, and quality of life as you age. And that's a goal worth every bite. Up next, let's explore which foods actually support your body when eaten with eggs. So, if all these common breakfast pairings are causing inflammation and joint pain, what should you be eating with eggs to support your health after 60? The great news is, you don't have to give up eggs. In fact, eggs can still be one of the best foods for older adults when combined with the right ingredients. The secret is to choose foods that are gentle on your digestive system, fight inflammation, and help stabilize your blood sugar. Start by adding leafy greens like spinach, kale, or arugula. Lightly sautéed in olive oil, these vegetables are packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. They're also easy to digest and help reduce the heaviness that often follows richer meals. Pair them with eggs, and you've got a nutrient-dense breakfast that fuels energy without the joint pain. Next, consider avocado. Creamy, satisfying, and full of heart-healthy fats, Avocado supports your joints, brain, and cardiovascular system. Unlike processed cheese, it delivers richness without the inflammation. Spread it on a slice of whole-grain toast or enjoy it on the side with poached eggs for a balanced, nourishing plate. If you're craving something starchy, skip the white toast and reach for sweet potatoes or quinoa instead. These are complex carbohydrates, meaning they digest more slowly and won't spike your blood sugar. They're also packed with fiber and essential minerals that support healthy muscles and reduce inflammation. Finally, how you cook your eggs matters. Instead of frying them in margarine or butter substitutes, go for healthier oils like olive oil or avocado oil. Or better yet, try boiling, steaming, or poaching them. These gentler cooking methods preserve nutrients and avoid creating harmful compounds that stress your joints and heart. The key is to build meals that work with your body, not against it. With just a few simple swaps, you can turn your breakfast into a source of healing and strength, helping you feel lighter, more energized, and ready to take on the day. Breakfast is more than just a meal. It's a quiet, powerful act of self-care. Every bite you take in the morning is a message to your body, a signal of how you want to feel throughout the day. When you choose foods that support your joints, ease inflammation, and nourish your mind, you're not just eating. You're making a promise to yourself, a promise to move with less pain, to live with more clarity, to age with strength, dignity, and freedom. You don't have to give up eggs. In fact, they can remain a trusted part of your daily routine. But what truly matters is who you invite to join them on your plate. Will you pair them with foods that trigger discomfort, or with ingredients that support your health and well-being? That simple choice can shape how your knees feel, how steady your steps are, and how energized you feel as the day goes on. The truth is, you still have incredible power over how you feel, no matter your age. You don't need drastic changes or complicated diets. Just small, thoughtful choices made each morning can have a profound impact. Swapping out processed meats for greens, refined carbs for sweet potatoes, or margarine for olive oil. These aren't sacrifices. They're investments in your independence. So tomorrow morning, when you crack open an egg and begin your breakfast, take a moment to ask yourself, what kind of day do I want to have? Let your answer guide what goes on your plate. Let your food support your freedom, not limit it. Because even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, you are still in charge of your health. You are still capable of change. And every single morning, you have the chance to begin again, with a plate that reflects the life you want to live, active, vibrant, and full of purpose. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend or loved one who may be struggling with leg pain, joint stiffness, or simply eats eggs for breakfast every day without realizing the hidden risks. Sometimes, a small change in someone's morning routine can lead to a big difference in how they feel. If you found this information helpful, leave a comment below that says, "I'm going to change my breakfast." Let's start a wave of positive change, one plate at a time. Your story could inspire someone else to take control of their health too. And remember, every healthy choice you make is a step toward more freedom, more movement, and more joy in your daily life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another tip made just for you. We're in this together, and your journey starts with breakfast.